You and I, Tom, have had a few conversations over the years touching on Mission Impossible.
There you are. That's you hanging off a cap.
That's fantastic.
A couple of times.
Yes, a few times.
I wish I could grow a beard like that. I was like that, and you could play that back in slow motion. I still can't figure it out.
Nor can I.
It is the wildest thing.
But today, it's all about Mission, right? Fully.
And you really think we can do this?
This is a look back through 3 decades of an incredible journey.
We're going to do it.
And I'm sorry to ask such a silly question, but I am a slave to the format. You are Ethan Hunt.
What's your name?
Ethan Hunt.
This is Ethan Hunt.
Designation, Bravo, Echo, 1-1.
Yes.
Designator.
Bravo, Echo, 1-1.
And you check me.
Yes.
Bravo Echo 1-1.
How the heck did that happen?
I need you to trust me. One last time.
You know, the head of the studio was Stanley Jaffe. Stanley Jaffe had produced Taps when I was 18 years old, and he cast me in the film.
We were in an explosive situation which jeopardized the entire mission. I simply defused the situation.
That's just beautiful. I mean, you really have a way with words.
Sherry Lansing was the first female president of 20th Century Fox. Both of them became very good friends of mine.
Mhm.
And Sherry, very much a lifelong friend, as she took over Paramount Pictures. And Mission Impossible was the first film that I officially produced. So I'd spent years just studying cinema, studying studios, distribution, and cinema, always cinema and storytelling. And I was asked to finally just go to Paramount and produce a movie. Sherry and Stanley asked me, and I said, okay, I'm ready. I want this challenge now. I'm ready for it. I felt I was ready for it. I felt enough ready. And I went there, I think it was like in 1993 at that point when I went, and I said, I'm going to do, looked at their catalog, and I was like, I'm going to produce Mission Impossible. I remember as a kid seeing the TV series, and I liked the music, and I thought I'm going to take it from a Cold War TV series to a feature film. I felt that it was a very interesting format to tell a cinematic story, that I would imbue it with action. You know, I'd been looking at action for a long time.
I lost him, Goose. Show me what you got, kid.
And how can I take it to the next level? But within that kind of suspense, spy, thriller structure, and you know, wanted to do something very elegant.
Ethan, you're going into the embassy in character during a party. Hide in plain sight, highest possible profile. Are you game?
Wouldn't have it any other way.
Also, it encompassed everything that I wanted to do as a human being, as a filmmaker, which is traveling to different locations.
Where's it located?
Morocco.
Morocco. So that I could be part of that culture, celebrate that culture, have that experience of working with people. It embraced, you know, my interest in terms of motion and how to utilize motion and have a story that engages an audience. And have something that I could do on a very big scale so that we could play with some big toys, you know?
There it is,
and
Tom.
engage the audience.
It took you a while to get there, but that's it. It's the big toys.
Only pack what we need.
Yeah, absolutely. Only pack what we... You never know.
Could have some big toys, but also have some intimacy and some fun character development.
This is very exciting. Being out in the field with you know.
And have a great cast and have an international cast. And all of those things combined, that's why I chose Mission Impossible. I sat down and I was like, this is why I chose Mission Impossible. It's the first film that I was going to produce.
And it paid off, for sure.
You've always been on the right side, brother. I have no regrets. Neither should you.
What would you say are Ethan's defining characteristics? Because there's a particular line that stuck with me rewatching the movies just over the past few days. I won't let you down.
How are you gonna get it?
I'll figure it out.
You find the bomb, I'll get the detonator. I won't let you down.
He is unstoppable.
I won't let you down.
If you lose your car keys, he's going to find your car keys. Like, there's no doubt about it. He's also made of iron. Like, he can just hit things, bounce off things, fall on things.
But he breaks things. He gets broken.
I'm not going to call him clumsy.
Yeah,
No.
I know. He smashes through things. There's a vulnerability with that character.
You're not afraid to look afraid as Ethan. And that's, I think, why I really like him. When you're hanging off a plane, I can see you. Maybe you're acting, maybe you're not.
Maybe I'm not.
Panicking. That's the wrong door! And I've done way too much research. I discovered, aren't you essentially blind in that sequence? Because you're wearing protective...
In the underwater sequence, the light is reflecting my eyes. I can't see the missiles coming down or different things that happen, and I can't see it. So I have to spend a lot of time going through and feeling it out.
As you do.
I thought you said you were relaxed.
It's entirely possible to be relaxed and extremely uneasy at the same time.
No, son.
You do it all the time.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
There's so many layers, right? Because he's heroic, he's unbelievably skilled,
How you been?
but at the same time, he's not scared of being funny and ridiculous sometimes.
Fighting a bit of a cold.
And vulnerable.
Yeah, and vulnerable and emotional.
Julia?
He's a much more nuanced character than Bond. Bond is like a blunt instrument. And he's, Bond's, and this is part of who Bond is. This isn't a criticism, but Bond's a misogynist. And he's, he's
a
sort
dinosaur
of,
relic.
Yeah, he's
from the Cold War.
Yeah, he's all those things.
I think you're a sexist, misogynist dinosaur, a relic of the Cold War, whose boyish charms, though wasted on me, obviously appeal to that young woman I sent out to evaluate you.
Whereas Ethan is just a bit more human. And I think there's something relatable about that. You every now and again, not often, but you can relate to Ethan, Not when he's hanging off a biplane.
Right, like I'm always doing. Or
Yeah,
when he
that's how I got here.
falls off he falls off a rope onto that thing hanging from the
Yeah,
boat.
without telling me and Rebecca, who thought he was dying. We were on the ground watching that stunt, and no one told us that he was going to fall off the
Do you
helicopter.
drop your coffee?
Yeah, I was like, "Fuck!"
You didn't say at the end of the word.
I just in case, because it's the BBC.
BBC.
I was going to say fun. I was like, fun.
Oh, he's nearly dead. Fun. Ultimately, I'm starting to think that Tom Cruise
Is Ethan Hunt.
Ethan Hunt.
You pull a mask off and it'll be the same face underneath. It's a different person.
That would be hilarious and never-ending.
Yeah, till he's got a tiny head.
Well, we have a passenger.
What words would you use to describe his fighting style? Because he's also, if he's anything, an improviser.
Yes.
And there's a bit, I think, is it in Ghost Protocol? Where he essentially punches a table into someone's face.
Yes.
We're always on the move!
I like that you say that because obviously I spent a lot of time training in different fight methods. You look at different movies that I've done with other characters that fight. And I'm always very particular about Ethan, that it is a little raw. I want it raw. I want it a little wild. It's not, the style for Ethan it's a little wild. It's, you look at the bathroom fight in Fallout, you just want a little ragged. You look at the framing that we have in that, it is improvised. It's not the prettiest style. And we're doing it on purpose, and thank you for mentioning that.
Those are listed all the biggest stunts from
Yes.
all the missions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Could you give me your top 3 most bonkers stunts, in your opinion,
Yes.
that Tom has done?
I think the thing is with the stunts in Mission is that the more the films have evolved, the more variables have been introduced to the stunts. So you have very sort of staged, managed, as all stunts are, initially leading up to the Burj Khalifa, which was the first time, I think, when the thrill that the audience feel when they see Tom doing these things became palpable. In Australia, we're in Sydney, and the big IMAX shot came in, and the shot moved down, and you saw the drop, and we all heard the audience go, and I felt like a little thing went off in Tom's head, and he was like, okay, I need to do this more and bigger and bigger. And so when we did the A400 in Rogue Nation, suddenly there's wind speed, and there's birds, and there's particulate. And then we did the halo jump, and all the stuff, the helicopter. And it's just, everything's become more and more dangerous because of the amount of chance. So I'd have to say number one is the biplane.
Oh, it's...
Because I don't know where we go from there, do you?
You can see him sort of passing out.
Yeah. No, it's unbelievable.
You can
but
see
also, like, he never stops learning. He never stops training. So just like throughout the years, he learned so many more skills and he got better at everything. That
Hate him.
Yeah, our movie, like the Final Reckoning, is just
the motorcycle jump,
unbelievable.
The G-force on his face. There's a scene when he's getting out of the cockpit to get into the back of the cockpit on the red plane, and you just see the wind just fills his head with air. And he just looks, he looks so panicked.
You know when you're like a dog,
camera.
like coming out of the car.
Yeah,
that is changes the face.
The epitome
so much.
of Cruise is like a dog with his head out the window of a car.
And I think in terms of crazy, crazy stunts, but let's just remember the smushed foot. Oh boy.
Oh yeah, and he kept running.
And that being slightly in the film still.
Oh, yes. And McHugh said that he could, in that flash of that blink of an eye moment, he could see Tom know that as soon as they're going to cut, that he was going to be out for a while. So he put his producer's hat on and just went, if I'm just going to keep going to the end of the shot so that at least they have something to use while I then go to hospital. That's dedication for me. What a guy.
I was wondering, and I know this sounds silly, but when have you felt coolest? I know.
When have I felt coolest? I don't know.
On set, there must have been, because this is wishful fulfillment. You're on the top of the Burj Khalifa, you're on a biplane.
Being on top of the Burj Khalifa with bare feet, that was really fun. I climbed up early in the morning. I was like, I gotta climb this building. I just wanted, and David James is really amazing still photographer. I said, look, let's get a photo. I gotta get to the top of the Burj Khalifa. I saw that building being built and I'm just gonna, I'm gonna climb up with bare feet and I'm gonna do it. I just want to be up there. It was a beautiful morning. The sun came up and that was a lot of fun.
In my head, you didn't tell anybody, but...
No, I don't.
Surely not the insurance guy.
Well, this is not mission difficult, Mr. Hunt. It's mission impossible. Difficult should be a walk in the park for you.
I was wondering, what are the key ingredients to a Mission Impossible movie? Because as far as I understand it, you've got to have the mega MacGuffin. A massive, big thing. It could be the rabbit's foot, it could be a lot of money, it could be something to do with bombs. Okay, sure. You've got to have the delivery of the mission with some sort of contraption. It could be a disposable camera or something.
Clever gadget.
Should you choose to accept it, needs to be mentioned, etc., etc.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it.
Rubber masks.
Yes. Yes.
Stop me if I'm wrong. Tarzan, you've never rubber masked.
Never. And I'm
Plenty
so
of rubbernecking.
sad about
We'll have to redo that. Yeah. He keeps doing the face
Coming
again.
out now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But Hayley, you've had to do the mask.
I've had to do the mask. I then also took it a bit too far and I went and hid in Simon's trailer over Halloween and put the mask on and just hid in the corner. And filmed it. But by that point, he expected it of me, I think, so I kind of came and went, and I gave him my all and he was like, you all right?
Yeah, you all right?
How you doing?
Hey, yeah, I need a nap, so if you could...
Exit stage left, please. Thank you.
Yes.
You've also got to have the name of the movie said within the movie.
President has initiated Ghost Protocol.
Yeah.
So you have to hear Dead Reckoning.
We are navigating under the Arctic ice cap by Dead Reckoning.
You have to hear Final Reckoning. You have to hear Fallout.
Fallout. All your good intentions.
Did we hear Rogue Nation?
You do. You do briefly.
Yeah.
And the editor of this piece is going to put it in now.
The Syndicate. A rogue nation.
Okay.
You've also got to hear the word disavowed quite a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, you need that.
Yes.
I've been disavowed.
The Secretary will disavow any knowledge of your actions.
Also, he loves to hang off things. Rewatching the series,
Yeah.
it's Dead Horse Point in Utah. It's a bottom of a lift just after that run.
Yeah.
in Fallout. And I
Yeah.
counted it. I think it's about 70 seconds. He's just going,
Hanging.
having a dialogue scene with Henry Cavill.
You can't do it, can you? Not until you get your plutonium.
Just hanging on.
Yeah. Those fingers, strong fingers.
Strong
Do you think he has
fingers.
like little finger barbells?
He's
and
like
he just,
a-
lifts up.
He's like a damn keychain. You just want to hang on to stuff. No, I'm gonna start calling them keychain.
I wish you the best of luck giving Tom Cruise a nickname because he gives nicknames.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I have it tattooed on my finger. Hell yeah. That's quite extra, isn't it? But I was very proud of it.
Yes, yeah.
Hell yeah, here she comes. Hell yeah.
What's yours, Tarzan? Do you have a Tom Cruise nickname?
He calls you movie star.
He does call me movie star. Yeah.
Not personally, but it is personal.
You've also got to have the theme tune running alongside any of the stunts that you do that kind of gears you up to be able to do it.
Do you have words that you sing in your head when you hear the theme tune?
What comes to mind when you hear the theme tune?
Tarzan, you can do it. Tarzan, you can do it. Tarzan, you can do it. Tarzan, you can do it.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Tarzan.
The spin-off, it's inevitable.
It's here. It's right here.
I asked you this for Top Gun Maverick, but where has been the most surprising place you've seen the influence of these movies in pop culture? Because at the risk of making you, big-headed, they're pretty influential. And I was just looking at animated films, and you can see in Toy Story 3, there's Woody doing the cable drop.
Yeah, that was so cool. Those guys did that.
You got Tangled.
Ugh, hay fever?
Yeah.
And how about Shrek 2? It's all over the place, from
That's
Spice
so cool.
World to Doctor Who, everywhere. Have you been sort of surprised at any point to see Mission
I'm
elsewhere?
very honored, to see that in different ways. It's really an honor, and I'm constantly surprised, when people do stuff. I don't expect it. I don't know. I just live my life, and when it has that kind of effect, I'm like, oh, that's really lovely. Thank you. What aren't you telling me?
You don't understand what you're involved in.
I don't understand what I'm involved in. I don't understand what I'm involved in. What am I involved in?
What do you think have been the funniest moments in the franchise? Because I feel like there have been really funny moments. And one particular for me, I think it's Rogue Nation, is when he's just come back from the dead, I believe.
Yeah.
And it's you two rushing to a car.
Yeah.
And he totally cocks it.
Yeah.
Fully, bang, over the bonnet. And then you have another moment with you and Jeremy and Ving going,
Yeah, in the car. Hey, it's you. Yeah, when he's and I
feel
say,
like all the funniest moments are with you because you're so hilarious.
but I think that for me, the funniest moments in Mission are when Ethan is on the back foot. When he's a bit, like for me,
you ready?
I'm ready.
When he messes up starting the field.
Wow.
The way they play it, it's like erectile dysfunction.
Yeah,
Tom
it's
kind of
so
goes,
funny.
this doesn't happen to me. And she says, it's okay.
Hey, look, I'm sorry. This is
It's okay.
this car. The way they set them up. Sometimes it's just
Let's go.
takes me.
Let's go.
And it's so funny. And when there's a moment in Rogue Nation when we're planning the underwater bit, And I say to Ethan, you can hold your breath for 3 minutes, can't you? And he's like, yeah.
You said it yourself. It's the only way. That doesn't sound impossible.
Because Ilsa's watching, and he does this thing where he's clearly just styling it out. And there's lots of moments like that with Tom. He's got great comic timing. As you know, what's your favorite film with Tom in?
Tropic Thunder. Yeah, he does the
he'll
dance
do that
when we asked him. It's
at the
amazing.
drop of a hat, won't he?
Yes.
Well, really, just pull his string and he starts doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got to try that next time I see him.
You want the goodies? Welcome to the goodie room.
Do you get people quoting lines at you? And when they do they ever try to impress you with obscure ones?
I love it when they do that because, yes, I do.
What's done is done when we say it's done.
What's amazing, you know, I've been doing this a while, right? You know,
a few years,
maybe 45
like
years, 45 years, 45 years. Okay.
The greatest enemy is time.
Yes. Yeah, I love that. Good.
The next villain is time.
I love it when people do that, and it's always it takes me right back to that movie, and I love it. It's cool.
Like people, I imagine, might be saying like toast. There's always something about that for me, and I love. Hang on, let me get it absolutely right. I wrote it down. I'll die unless you kill me. From Mission 3.
I have a charge in my head. I'm gonna die unless you kill me.
What?
Throw the switch on and off. Don't forget the off.
Absolutely love it.
Oh, that line. We wrote that monologue and that scene right before we shot it.
That's incredible.
Right before we shot it. JJ and I just sat there and wrote it out right before we did it.
There's the improvising again.
Yep.
Red light, green light. You come up against a lock you can't pick, you mash them together.
As a fan of the franchise, do you have lines from the series that you particularly enjoy? Because red light, green light.
Red light! Green light!
Yes, blue.
Red is dead.
Red is dead.
Blue is
glue. Yeah,
Mhm.
I love that line and hearing how they came up with it. How McHugh came along. It was like they were trying to figure out the whole gag about sticking to the window, and McHugh was like, "Red is dead and blue is glue."
When the meter is blue, that's full adhesion. Easy way to remember: blue is glue.
And when it's red,
dead.
Which is the first line McHugh wrote for Mission
It's
Impossible.
so good. And he got it like that,
Yeah.
right?
He came into the room, he got to Vancouver, he was jet lagged. Tom said, we need this line to describe what this does really quickly. And McHugh just went, blue is glue, red is dead.
So
and that
good.
was, hello,
So iconic.
Christopher McQuarrie, here's the rest of the series.
Did he also come up with your, so, what did I miss?
I can't remember. That was not easy. But I did it.
Because that's another really funny moment.
That's the very epitome of comic relief.
What I miss?
That moment, because that scene with him on the verge is so tense.
Oh, yeah,
And then
yeah,
that
that
moment
was
just
so
skewers
funny.
it nicely.
I like Henry Cavill saying, why won't you die?
Why won't you just die?
That sort of frustration of, yeah, I bet all villains feel this. Just
But I love Paris's line in this where someone asks her for help, like, are you good at surgery? And she's like, I kill people.
Right.
It's so brilliantly delivered.
There's another one when Tom is trying to jump out of a window and Benji's like, why don't you just jump? And Tom's like, I'm standing out.
He says, turn right.
Turn right.
Turn right. And he goes, why aren't you going? Run, you need to run. And he goes, I'm about to jump
out
of a window.
Yes.
What are you waiting for? I'm jumping out a window! What do you mean you're jumping out of a...
That was good.
All that stuff is gold.
Oh, sorry, I had it in 2D. Good luck.
What mementos from Mission have you brought home? Because I hope there is a yellow biplane next to your P-51.
Yeah. I mean, those planes they're mine. Yeah, they're mine. Definitely.
A little rabbit's foot, like fake keychain maybe, or a cruciform key.
I'm sure somewhere, look, they have stuff from my archives where they want to open a museum on my films. So my archives are somewhere around. I don't know. Wow. There's people that do that.
And speaking of the biplane, is that the least glamorous moment shooting these movies? Is you passing out in the air? Or what was happening?
It's not even just passing out. It was exhausted. It was like, it wasn't that I literally went unconscious, but I literally went to a different state that was not as present. And just falling asleep so that I could let my body recharge and get enough fuel. I went so hard on that wing, and it happened so quickly, the force of that. I mean, if anyone has taken their hand or their face and stuck it out of a window and the car's going 145 miles an hour, and try to breathe and try to move in space and move yourself around that plane or hang on. It's like lifting the heaviest weights with your entire body, and at a certain point, your body just can't move anymore. And that's it. There's no way around it. You cannot move. And the first time I hit that wall, and it was very quickly that you hit it, I was like, okay, now I have to get from this wing to that cockpit because I can't land on the wing. It's too dangerous. And I had to really mark my hand, my foot position so that I was so economical, but I knew I had to rest. So we had hand signals. Hand signals, where it's like, I'm resting, And McHugh was in a helicopter and the pilot was there because we couldn't talk, so we used hand signals. And so I also, so I'd go to McHugh and he'd be there and I'd just be like this, like, I'm resting, it's okay. Like, I didn't want anyone worrying, that I needed to rest. So I'd be on the wing and I just couldn't move. And I'd rest for 10 to 15 minutes and then I had enough fuel to be able to go back in.
Can I just say, Tom, you deserve the rest now.
But I never want to rest, ever.
But it says The Final Reckoning. And if this is the end of Ethan for you, for now, at the very least, I want to say something that I feel privileged to be able to say as a fan of the franchise and as a fan of all of this incredible work you've done over the past 26 years is thank you. Because you have, to quote Top Gun Maverick, despite your best efforts, not killed yourself. For our entertainment.
You can't get a promotion, you won't retire, and despite your best efforts, you refuse to die.
And we are grateful to you for that.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That means a lot to me. Thank you.
Tom Cruise. I mean, this was the first film that he produced. This is 29 years of his passion, dedication of getting every film better than the last. And it's so much about what every cell in his body he is here for, which is to entertain the audience. So I think it's a homage to him, the lengths he will go to entertain. Yeah. That for me sums up the franchise.
Well, I think in terms of, spectacle, Tom's set a very high bar for and it's great to see, Florence Pugh recently did quite a difficult stunt for the Thunderbolts and credited Tom with kind of inspiring, and that's great because stunt people are incredible athletes and performers. But the only thing that you have to give up when a stunt performer takes over is the character, because it stops being the actor. Tom delivers a line in Freefall in Dead Reckoning, and it's a joke, not just a line. I'm saying, are you on the train yet? And he screams in Freefall, I'm trying to get away from this mountain.
Did you make it? Are you okay? I'm trying to get away from this mountain!
You could not do that with a stunt person because it wouldn't be the actor. Do you know what I mean?
That's absolutely it.
Yeah. And in terms of generally, I hope it's a film series that people can look at and think, and we didn't drop the ball. Thanks, Ethan.
Thank you.
I guess I'm wondering, what would you like the legacy of these films to be?
I think whatever you want it to be. That I think that it's, all I can say is that I dreamed of being able to make movies for my whole life. And I remember being 18 on taps and thinking, I'm just gonna do the best I can every day. And I'm never gonna take it for granted. And I'm gonna learn, and it's gonna be an adventure, and I'm just gonna keep going, and I'll keep creating and just doing the best I can.
It has been an adventure, let's say that.
Yeah, my whole life has been quite an adventure, and it continues to be so.
Here's to that. Sir, it's always a pleasure.
It's a pleasure for me. Thank you so much.
And action! Let's see the movie.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon to keep up to date. And you can find these interviews in full on BBC iPlayer by searching Movies with Ali Plumb.